Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm the Director of Global Business Development here at Karma, and today I'd like to introduce the SME manual wheelchair. Now, the SME may have the outward appearance of a standard manual wheelchair, and it is self-propelling. However, we also added a power standing function. So that means while you are self-propelling, this is a manual chair, all you have to do is press this button here on the controller to move from a seated position all the way to a vertical standing position. So that'll help you out if you want to either grab something that's very high or just socialize with your friends, family, colleagues. It really opens up the world for wheelchair users. So we'll get right in and talk about the standing feature of this chair. So on the controller here, we have two buttons, up and down, very intuitive and easy to use. You'll also see we have a weatherproof cover on here, as well as a Velcro strap. Now this Velcro strap, I don't want to understate how great this feature is because it allows us to quickly remove and attach this controller. If you want to move it over to the left side, it's just as simple as moving it and sliding it on. If you have an attendant and they prefer to use it here on the handle, you could do that as well. Or you could just hold it in your hand like a TV remote, and then put it back on. It's as easy as that. So let's go up here. And the first thing you'll notice when this is moving up, nearly silent operation of the actuators. This is not going to stick out and everyone's not going to look when you're standing. Very, very quiet. Next, I want to point down here. There is biomechanical compensation here between the footrest and the seat. What that means is as we're rising up, the distance between the front of the seat and the footrest is actually increasing. Now, when you do stand up, there is a natural extension of the leg. So by doing this, you're removing any potential discomfort or crunching up of the legs. Additionally, we have these support bars on here. I'm not sure if you noticed, but when we were standing up, these actually move down and touch the ground and lift the entire chair up. So you'll see now the caster is free floating. Now the purpose of this is that we increase the wheelbase. So it creates a lot more of a stable support system for this chair. So you're not going to go anywhere when the chair is up. Now that means you also cannot self-propel the chair. You are in one position, but this is for the safest position. All right, so now we'll come back down. Just press the down button on the controller. And if you're wondering about the length of the batteries on this, there are two 2.9 amp hour batteries powering the SME. Now those will last about 120 cycles. So a cycle means you're in the seated, stand, and then seated again. That's one cycle. So we can do that 120 times before those batteries die. Now, in the unlikely event they do die, or if there's ever a fault with the controller is completely destroyed, we've accounted for that. Under here, on the left armrest, there is a bright yellow button. So the user or the attendant, all they have to do is press this button, and the chair will continue to lower as it would with the controller. Now this is wired completely separately from the controller, meaning that, again, if there's any problem with this, this is still functional. All right. So that is the feature that makes the SME really special, but we're still packing a bunch of options and adjustments here in the chair itself. So let's first talk about the seat. For the seat width, we have three options. There's 40, 44, and 48 centimeters. It's about 16, 17, and 19 inches. And then for the seat depth, it's the same, 40, 44, 48 centimeters, 16, 17, 19 inches. But the difference being the depth is adjustable. Now for the seat width, once you choose the width, that's the width you have. But for the depth, if you want to change that, all you need to do is loosen the bolts here and here, and then you can slide the inner frame tube back out of the seat to increase the depth or push it in to decrease it. Okay. Now, underneath this standard air mesh upholstery, and this is, by the way, about an inch or centimeter thick, so a little less than half of an inch foam inside. Underneath, you'll see there are these tension adjustable straps, and these are standard on the SME. They're also in the back. Now what these do is it allows when the user has the initial fitting of the chair, the therapist or the caretaker, they can unloosen these straps and then retighten them. And what that will do is give a really personalized fit for the user on both the seat and the backrest to maintain stability and comfort when using the chair. You'll also notice I revealed 2 belts. This one is the padded chest belt. Now, the chest belt is standard again, but we always like to have a chest belt when we're standing up just for that added support. And the great thing about this is it's automobile style, just a click button here, and you're good to go. A lot of the belts out there, it's just one solid piece, and it's really difficult for the user to put on and take off. But this is as simple as putting on a seat belt. On the seat, we have the same thing, but this is not padded. This is a typical seat belt or pelvic belt. Okay. Moving down the chair, a few different adjustments to look at. First, we'll talk about the armrest. So the armrest, both sides are flipped back as standard, and we have an ergonomic support pad here. And then there are 5 different heights. You can use tools to adjust this bolt, and then move the armrest up or down. Again, 5 positions. Down here on the knee, this is the knee support pad. Again, very helpful when standing. We have a few different adjustments. The first one is the spacing between the knees, so we can move these pads further out if the legs are positioned further outward. And then they're about all the way as far as they can go in. There are just bolts under here that you can use to move these around. These are a soft foam material. Okay, and then we also have the height of the pads. There are 5 positions here. You can adjust that just by moving this quick release pin. Very simple. And then you can put it further up. So it was at the bottom before. This is the top level. And then the third adjustment we have is the angle. Now the angle, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's actually a knob in here. And if you turn that clockwise or counterclockwise, you'll actually increase or decrease the angle that this comes at the knee. Okay? And then for the footrest, we have 4 different levels. So it's at the top now. We can move this 3 more positions down or anywhere in between if we need to. All right. We have a 6-inch caster and a 24-inch rear wheel. These are both PU tires, so it's a semi-firm, solid tire. Never have to worry about a flat tire with these. On the rear wheel, this is a quick release axle. So all we have to do is push in, and it's very simple to remove that. Now, underneath here, we have 3 different positions. We have it in the standard position right now, which is more of a mixed use. But if we have an active user or someone that's very comfortable with the chair, we can move it up to this front position. Or if it's a newer user or they just don't need to go out and about too much, we can move it back here in the passive position, which is more stable. Now, as we move the rear wheel forward and backwards, we can also adjust this brake along this rail here. So it's just a standard push to lock brake. And then we can also adjust the anti-tippers here. So there are 3 different height levels. Again, right now we're in the standard. We can move it up for a more active position, so that'll allow the chair to tilt back a little bit more. Or we can move it down for a more stable and secure position. So that'll decrease the distance and make the chair tip back just a little bit before these stop you. Okay. That's just about everything for the SME. Just want to mention, total weight of this chair is about 27 to 32 kilograms, just depending on the width of the seat you get. So that's about 60 to 70 pounds. And then the weight capacity is 120 kilograms, so about 265 pounds. If you think the SME is right for you or a family member or loved one, feel free to contact your local Karma dealer or visit our website, www.karmamedical.com. Let us know you'd like one. Or if you think the SME and a power standing is right for you, but you don't really want a manual wheelchair, we also have a few other options for standing. We have a wheelchair called the KP80, the Ergo Stand, or the Evo Altus, which is more of a complex rehabilitation solution. If you're interested in those, Again, you can visit our website or check out our other videos. My name is Matt, and this is the SME. Thanks.